Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. We are going to have a lovely service today, and of course, we are so excited about Reverend Nicole. That is just such wonderful news, right? In fact, we are so grateful about that, right? That we're going to sing about it. So you'll find the blue sheet in your bulletin, and let's stand and sing the song Grateful, okay? And feel that in your heart. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, God is all there is. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the knowing, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, God is all there is. One more time. Grateful for the morning, grateful for the sunlight on my face, grateful for the feeling, grateful for the morning, grateful for the love that's in this place, grateful for believing that God is all there is, that God is all there is, that God is all there is, God is all there is.
Thank you, Bill. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. What a beautiful crowd. My goodness. You should get this perspective. It's glorious. We are the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. We are a spiritual community which recognizes the oneness, the wholeness, and the interconnectedness of all life. We study and pray and know and use affirmative prayers to know the truth of all life. And so I want to invite us to recite our mission statement together. It's on the front of our program. And it kind of grounds us in what we're doing here together, why we come together, why we be together. And it says, we are a loving spiritual sanctuary where everyone is welcome. We celebrate the abundance of life through study, inspiration, gratitude, and service. With open hearts and minds, we participate in self-transformation for a world that works for everyone. Yes, absolutely. So if you are new or if you're here for the first time, or maybe you've been here a couple times quietly, and you would like some more information about our community, just raise your hand and we have cute little gift bags we'd like to pass out to you. Anybody here want a gift bag? Very cool. That's it? Okay. We have an incredible service in store for you this morning. We have our beloved Bill Wolf on piano. We have the brilliant Alan Boustede with a special musical guest. We have our wonderful Anne-Marie Lovedahl as our practitioner this morning. And Reverend Michael and I will be sharing the message today. So thank you. I guess I should introduce myself as Nicole Von Atzingen, co-senior minister of the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living. Yay! Happy dance, happy dance. That's been a long time coming. Oh. So I just want to share with you some announcements real quick. First, let's have Susan Collins come up.
Good morning. Well, I just want to tell you about last month's game night. We had so much fun. There were giggles, it was better than I thought it was going to be. And we had a surprise. Well, we had lots of surprises, but we had a surprise that somebody brought the best brownies in the entire world. You know, we had fun, we had brownies. The only thing that could make it better if George Clooney walked in the building, at least for me. Anyway, so this Friday, we're gonna do it again, but we're gonna do Rummy Q, and then, little did I know, we have a master Mahjong player who's gonna teach us Mahjong. Isn't that fabulous? She also makes the brownies. So I think it's a guarantee we get brownies. And then we'll play Mexican Train. So two very, very easy games. If you haven't played them, very simple. And Mahjong, which is kind of easy and kind of difficult. It's both. Anyway, so please come, have a lot of fun. And we have surprises all the time. So I'm going to need some help because we're going to do something that we did last time. Something's going to go out. You're going to put your hand up if you think or you're going to come Friday night and bring the item back. Now, last month, I'm not going to say a criticism, but a comment that maybe I should work on my pitching arm. So I took that as a challenge. So, now I'm not going to mention any names, Reverend Michael.
Oh boy.
I also got a comment that this group over here felt left out. The ones, what I call the angel wings. This side of the church, there's the butterfly wings. That side of the church are kind of grouchy angels sometimes, who said, we got ignored. So, Reverend Michael, let's see what you do.
Oh boy.
Oh no, Nicole, Reverend Nicole, you're not going anywhere. You're going to do the angel. Okay. You're going to do this one. Now, I wouldn't say this is cheating, but I'm going to get a little help from my little friend. So, if you think you're going to come, or if you are going to come to game night, and please bring this back. There's a surprise for you. Put your hand up, and we're going to try and get it to you.
Okay. You're going to game night? Okay, I'm going for you. Oh! Cancel. Yay! That's for you. Okay, that's yours. I'm really bad. Yeah. Oh! Yes.
Wow, I just got clobbered by Nicole. Okay, so this Friday and for the next 3 Fridays, we're going to be doing an incredible meditation class. If you are a master meditator, if you've never meditated, if you want to find out ways to up your meditation skills and how meditation can help manifest things in your life. We're going to look at all types of meditation. We're going to look at why it's better to use 3 senses when we meditate. We're going to look at all kinds of different ways to do it and why it works. So please come. It's Fridays 10 till noon, and there's a sign-up sheet in the back so we can have your package of goodies all ready for you to go. And I'm looking forward to seeing you. We're going to have a good time. Thanks.
Yes. We have many things going on here, so there's a little something for everybody. Also, we have Carl's Dock Party that everyone's invited to. It's Saturday, August 19th, and it starts at 5 p.m. Alamitos Bay Marina. And this is something that he does very often, and it's a great experience for you to get to know people in our community in a different way, outside of the church. So I invite everyone to go. There are flyers in the back. Okay, so now, if you haven't already seen this flyer, everybody grab the green one. Who remembers Amy Steinberg coming here? Yes. Oh my goodness. She's not only a Posey Award winner, which is like the positive music movement in America. She's not only won like many, many awards for that, but she is now living in San Diego. So she's willing to come up here and do a concert for us. So I know, this is incredible. I'm so excited. So it'll be $20 at the door. We're gonna have dinner and food and drinks and all that stuff for you. And then if you want, on your way out, you can pick up one of these, because it's a whole concert series. So after Amy Steinberg, it's gonna be Daniel Nahmod and Steve Blue. And then and that's in September. And then in October, it'll be Harold Payne and Tina Carson. So this is gonna be so much fun. And I really invite you all to join us for that. Okay, so the last announcement is we have begun our food drive for the University Food Pantry. Sorry about that. And we will be having buckets out here every Sunday for you to put in your non-perishables up to 6 months expired. And then at the end of our 4 weeks of doing this, we're going to have a big celebration in the parking lot with the media. So I invite you all to participate in that. And now, let's all just take a deep breath. Now is that special sacred time where we get to dive into our spiritual practice together, of just centering ourselves in our seats, feeling relaxed for a moment in time. Feeling the power and the presence of great good right here with us. I invite us to just breathe as we listen to the words of Anne Marie and the music of Bill Wolf.
Little jewel by the sea, loving home of tranquility. Little jewel by the sea, for you and me. As the waves lap the shore, so our hearts open the door to our jewel by the sea, precious home for you and me, precious home for you and me. Precious home for you and me.
Esther Hicks, in Ask and It Is Given, Learning to Manifest Your Dreams, has said that we deliberately create for ourselves best when we feel eager, optimistic anticipation, without feelings of impatience, doubt, or unworthiness to hinder the receiving of our desires. Since we're devoting the month of August to exploring our faith, I thought I'd share Esther's example of living in faithful anticipation. It goes sort of like this. If I call Domino's Pizza and order a pizza and breadsticks for delivery, I know my pizza and breadsticks are coming. I don't panic, freak out, worry about it, feel the need to come up with a plan B. I absolutely have faith that my food is coming, and I simply prepare for it. I get out my plate napkins, my cerveza of choice. I call up a friend and invite them over for pizza. Maybe I make a salad to go with it. I get my money ready to pay the delivery person at the door. I might Netflix a movie to watch while I'm having the pizza. These things are known as acting as if. And I'll do all these things along with patiently waiting because I know that my pizza and breadsticks are coming right to my doorway. As in today's talk title, it's done, period. What are we waiting? What are we wanting to manifest at our doorsteps, in our lives? Because the same thing applies. When I ask the universe, source, God, the divine Domino's pizza delivery dude for something, receiving that which I pray for is linked to faithfully preparing my thinking and my life for the thing that I desire. It's important to periodically check in with my trust and belief system to see if I have more faith in Domino's than I do in the most limitless, almighty power in the universe to deliver my order. So I invite you to join with me for a moment in contemplating the live as if actions of faith that we can adopt as we eagerly and optimistically anticipate the demonstration of our prayers. I welcome you as you return your attention back to this space with hopefully a renewed sense of faithful anticipation of your heart's desires. I give thanks for all those who devote their time, their talents, and their treasures to the enrichment of this spiritual center on behalf of each of us. And with a faithful heart, I know that this service unfolds in perfect order, and I invite you to affirm this with me by saying, "And so it is."
Little jewel by the sea, loving home of tranquility. Little jewel by the sea, for you and me, for you and me.
Good morning. I'm Alan Bustede. It's great to be back here again. Today I'm going to play the violin, and we have a guest. I guess I'm part of us now. So Stuart Rosen is my friend and a bass player. We've played together with the Kaleidoscope Chamber Orchestra in Los Angeles. We met there, and we're hanging out in the wings. And then he's also going to be playing some tango with me, with my tango band, because he knows the bandoneon player in my group and who asked him to play with us. I said, "You mean that guy? He's great." So here we are. We're going to play a piece called Two to Tango. It's based on some habanera rhythm, so it's loosely associated with tango. And we're going to play it for a duo for double bass and violin by Adrienne Albert. She used to sing with Stravinsky.
Thank you, Alan. You're amazing. You always come with something wonderful. Thank you, Stuart. So I thought I was going to get to make the announcement, but it's good to be back home. And for those of you who didn't see the Facebook saga, Nicole Von Atzingen started a journey 8 years ago with her first step toward practitioner training. And this last Wednesday, she walked through the doors and became a formal licensed minister in the CSL movement recognized worldwide. Give her a little love. And even though we're both a little jet lagged, we had to get on a plane at 7 a.m. Eastern time to come back on Thursday. It was a great trip, and I so much enjoyed it. And I so honor and recognize you for everything that you are. Thank you. But we have a topic, don't we? It is done, period. And so my role here is I'm going to talk about the past of everything we've done to bring us to the point where we can take our faith and move ourselves forward. Then Nicole's going to finish the sentence for us. And so you guys know that I love ancient wisdom. So when I'm asked to talk about the past, I'm not going to go there alone. I'm going to bring some very wise people with me. And the first one I want to talk about is, I've told you about the last few weeks, I think. It's the Hindu scholar and mystic Aurobindo. This was the last person that Ernest Holmes studied at the end of Ernest Holmes' life. In fact, some of the material I'm sharing with you is in a book called The Life Divine, which was compiled in 1938. And this was the book that Ernest Holmes had on his nightstand as he was passing his final days. So Aurobindo, and Ernest Holmes followed his suit, always told us that as we go through this life experience, I'll southernize it for you. When you come into this life experience, you're playing your hand of cards, but you're playing with a stacked deck. Because Aurobindo always told us that we come into this life experience with this essence of spirit, with this tingling of spirit, with this great, powerful spiritual person inside of us. And we have an evolutionary experience that we have to go through, because that essence of spirit always shines. It's just that our ego and our personality is too busy, and we don't see it all the time. So we have this evolutionary process. And to put it in military terms, it's funny because the spiritual entity and being or person or feeling inside of us stays in the background. So to put it in military terms, this big me, this big spiritual person inside of us tells the little me, this ego-based person, this personality, when you stand down, I'll stand up. And so Aurobindo has this great philosophy and this great lesson. He called it the triple transformation of what it takes to enable this bigger you to come out. And he said this in 1938. And I thought transformation came from Wayne Dyer like 25 years ago. And Aurobindo always quotes the ancient Hindu scriptures, which are almost 2,500 to 3,000 years old. But there's three parts to this triple transformation. First, we have to transform the mind. And what our mind is our perception of things. We have to transform the way we look at. And he keeps harping at it because we have to transform of looking at not looking at the small picture, but looking at the large picture. And when we get out of the way, we can do that. So the transformation of the mind is transforming that concept that we're separate from people. It's transforming that concept that there's not enough good to go around in the world. It's transforming that concept that whoever we meet isn't part of us. And that's the first transformation. The second transformation is the transformation of the heart. The same type of concept, we get away from the small me, and the heart is tied to our emotions. So we give up the emotions that we've been hurt, we've been damaged. It's another person's issue that did it to us. And when we get ourselves out of the way, we have this welling of our heartspring, that connection, that large us inside that knows nothing but love, overflows with love. And guess what happens? That love gets just attracted back to us. And the third transformation is the transformation of the will. And I'm going to use will in the terminology that we teach here, that Ernest Holmes teach, that Judge Troward taught before him, where the will is that part of you that just focuses on what we want. We don't try and use willpower and manipulate it. We focus and accept our good. And Aurobindo says that will, if I was in a Christian background, it would be the will of God, except what we consider the will of God is what is embedded inside of us. Because it's that concept of we're not this individual drop in the ocean. We're the entire ocean in a single drop. So the will that we want is this will that corresponds with a world that works for everyone. This will that we are our brothers and sisters' keeper. This will that there is enough good to go around in the world. But it's an evolutionary process. So it would be nice if the big me would stand up from the get-go, but we have to evolve ourselves. And I want to use some other very wise men to help me with that. One is the great Stoic philosopher and Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. And he's talking about our main tool that we have to evolve ourselves is our principles. And what I want to talk to us about is using the law of cause and effect and using it as a learning tool. And Marcus Aurelius tells us this a long time ago. He says this: your principles can't be extinguished unless you snuff out the thoughts that feed them, for it's continually in your power to reignite new ones. It's possible to start living again, see things anew as you once did. That is how to restart your life. And so we can use this law of cause and effect. We can learn our lessons. Sometimes we learn the lessons in a day, sometimes in a week, sometimes in a year, sometimes in a decade. Sometimes we learn our emotional lessons from one bad relationship. Sometimes it takes 5. But this higher power inside of us doesn't worry about that because it goes beyond time and space. It's content. It's ready to stand up whenever we allow it to. And we have to go through this evolutionary process. Another wise man, Ralph Waldo Emerson, sort of gives us a key on why we have to live this life experience. He says, life is a series of lessons which must be lived to be understood. So we have this way of going through us. And as I said, the good news is you're dealing with a stacked deck. You have the power and the presence and the love inside of you. And the answer will come to you. You will march the way you need to fulfill your destiny. And the last thought I want to share with you is one of my favorite contemporary wisdom keepers, great psychologist Rachel Naomi Remen. And these are some of her reflections on how we become trapped in our mistaken beliefs. And it goes like this: what we believe about ourselves can hold us hostage. Over the years, I've come to respect the power of people's beliefs. The thing that has amazed me is that a belief is more than just an idea. It seems to shift the way in which we actually experience ourselves and our lives. According to the Talmudic teaching, we do not see things as they are. We see them as we are. A belief is like a pair of sunglasses. When we wear a belief and look at life through it, it is difficult to convince ourselves that what we see is not what is real. With our sunglasses on, life looks green to us. Knowing what is real requires that we remember that we are wearing glasses and we take them off. One of the great moments in life is the moment we recognize we have had these glasses on in the first place. Freedom is very close to us then. It is a moment of great power. Sometimes, because of our beliefs, we may have never seen ourselves or our life as whole. No matter, we can recognize life anyway. Our life force may not require us to strengthen it. We often just need to free it where it has gotten trapped in beliefs, attitudes, judgment, and shame. So we have this wonderful gift that Aurobindo told us about, and it's this essence of spirit that's just waiting to stand up. And we have these wonderful tools that we teach here each and every week, the principles of how to transform your life. And so that's the journey, and I encourage you to keep asking for the path forward, for your right and divine path. And when the time is right, the little me inside of yourself will stand down, and the big me will stand up. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Michael. Isn't he so smart and good looking? Oh. Well, I thought, since I am now a reverend, that in honor of that, thank you. But in honor of that, and in honor of what my ministry is, I thought I'd bring you all back to the beginning, to the basics of it all, of what transformed my life. You ready? There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. How many of us believe that there is a power greater than we are in the universe? Just a raise of hands. Okay, awesome. Now, how many of us actually, be honest, how many of us actually use it? Okay, we got a good group here. Okay. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that amazing? I mean, when you really think about it, I could always get that there was a power for good greater than I was in the universe. I get that, right? I never really could conceive of some man in the sky with like a beard and a throne and judging, but I always could feel that there was a power greater than I was. There's a divine intelligence. But that we could use it? That there's an aspect of God that desires that we direct it, and that is so creative that it responds to us? That is just amazing, isn't it? When you really think about it? It's amazing, and it's a little bit confusing. It's amazing because it transforms when you fully start to believe and allow your faith to move you forward with that idea, with that truth. It transforms your entire life. I mean, I swam in some serious muddy waters, you know. I dealt with addiction and trauma and abuse and all this poverty and all this icky stuff that I was swimming in and living in. And once I got a hold of that idea that there is a power for good in the universe that is greater than I was and that I could use it, that was a game changer. That changed everything for me. And it's kind of confusing because it's a law, right? It's a spiritual law, just like the law of aerodynamics or the law of electricity that has always been, but we just didn't know about it until we knew about it, right? And we didn't use it and put it to good use until we figured it out. We had to evolve, right? We had to work our way up to that point of intelligence. But now, at any point that we choose, we can turn on the light. Now, at any point that we can choose, we can direct this aspect of the divine, this aspect of God that says, yes, I am here for you. Dr. Ernest Holmes, he used to have this radio program called This Thing Called Life. That's how it was, this thing called life. And it was so beautiful. But in it, he talked about our relationship with God. And I want to just share with you how he explained it, because I thought it was really cool. He talks about how in the Colorado Rockies, there's this beautiful valley that's filled with fountains. And some of these fountains pour out more water than others. But at a deep subterranean level, the water that's being pushed forth all comes from the same pool. And here's the great spiritual lesson, that you and I and every one of us are unique and individually having a direct relationship with the God of our understanding. That you and I are having a direct communication and relationship with life. And there is a divine urge back of us, within us, that's always trying to push it out. This thing called life is trying to push out through us as if we are the fountains. And just like every one of those unique and individual fountains comes from the same pool of water, every one of us as unique and individual beings of life come from the same one divine life. Just wanting you to go full out in your life in whatever way that is for you, however that shows up for you. And so what I want to think about is, and offer you to think about is, how is your fountain flowing? Imagine that you are this fountain that life gets to express through, that God, that the divine, that this urge gets to express through. How are you doing? Are you a little bit narrow? Did some meanie come and throw a rock in your hole and clog you up? Did you buy into some old BS, some old belief systems that are kind of mucking up your fountain? That's okay, right? It's okay. Because once we know, we can do something about it. And what we can do is we can start to assess, what's clogging my fountain, Do I desire, am I living a life of chaos and poverty when what I truly desire to have life expressed through me is abundance and peace? Well, then we have to have that idea that abundance and peace is possible for us. And then we have to have a feeling behind it, a so desiring of the experience we choose. Whatever it is that we choose, the way creation works is our inspiration, our idea, plus our feeling about it, couples together to create. And that's what the divine goes off of. That's what that aspect of God that is always saying, your wish is my command. Your wish is my command. Unfortunately, sometimes, because sometimes I don't think we realize that our thoughts about ourselves are pretty negative. And sometimes we have feelings that go with those thoughts that are pretty negative. And yet still, that aspect of God will always say, your wish is my command. So here's where it is done, period, comes into play. Because I don't know about you, but when I would get in trouble when I was a kid, my mom would say, da, 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 period. Like, that's it. No more talking about it. It is done. We're not going any further with this conversation. What I said is what it is, period, right? Like, when you have to verbalize your punctuation, you know they're serious, right? So here's how it goes. When we start to realize where we're getting mucked up, how we want to live our life, and we pray about it, or we go see a practitioner about it, or we have our deep, powerful thoughts and feelings about it, and we say, and so it is, that's it, period. And so it is. It is done. We must not allow ourselves to go back and, like Anne-Marie said, and wonder if the pizza guy is actually going to come and deliver. When we have an idea about something, about the way we want to see our lives show up, it's kind of like having the idea that we want to build our own house. When you have that great, brilliant, inspired idea that you want to build your own house, do you wake up the next morning and expect it to be built? When you have that great and wonderful idea about how you want your life to show up, do you wake up the next morning and expect it to be done? Sometimes. I do, or I used to. I was like, dang, that prayer didn't work, right? Instead of seeing that like, oh, my prayer for peace, it's starting to show up. Like I didn't just go cuss that guy out on the 405 who cut me off. Little by little, we start to see it taking shape. We start to see our fountain unclogging, clearing up. And we can use this idea to change our entire life if we choose, or change any aspect of it that will allow us to express forth more of that God, more of that good, more of that divine urge for life. But no matter what, and no matter how far we get at it, there will never be a point when that God, when that sea of life is ever separate from us, is ever away from us. It's our choice if we want to express it. It's our choice if we want to let it show and let it shine. And I just wanted to share with you guys, when I was in Florida this week, and they asked me in my ministerial panels, which is kind of scary, you know, you got all these ministers around you asking you questions, and they said, what is your ministry? Not your occupation, but what is the ministry of your heart? And I said, you know, all I want is to remind people of this one idea, that there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and that we can use it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there is good within us. There is so much good within us, and I didn't believe that for a long time. It was the moment when I believed that it was greater than me and good and within me that I started to say, okay, I'm going to let go of my past, and I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to use it. And so that's what I want to invite us all to do. Allow this faith in the good, faith in that power that is greater than us, to move us forward in our life, because we deserve it. We deserve it, and God wants this. I think you can feel it, can't you? It wants it. So let's pray. It's so easy to feel that divine pulsating right here and now. That holy good, that thing that we call life, right here in this room, in every single one of us. And what I affirm and I state with authority is that we are the incarnations of divine intelligence. Therefore, we deserve to experience life to the fullest. We deserve to experience love. We deserve to experience peace. We deserve to experience prosperity and kindness and joy and compassion. And I affirm this for us now, that no matter where we are in our life's journey, in our spiritual evolution, that I affirm this for us now, that there is a power greater than we are that is loving us and nurturing us and supporting us in ways that we could not even imagine. And for this I am eternally grateful, humbled. And so I say, thank you, God. Yes, thank you more, please. And so it is, period. Yes, thank you. That's Alan.
By the way, when I took my first fundamentals class here, I took it twice, and Nicole was assisting, and I said, I like this place. I like this place. I want to be around her.
You're so sweet.
Okay. So, the trolley song and Embraceable You by George Gershwin.
Thank you, Bill, Alan, Stuart. Good morning, Seal Beach. So each month we have the wonderful opportunity to contribute, to give, to tithe to an organization that we feel is doing good in our local communities. And so it's that time of the month again that we are able to do that. And with us this month is Leilani Cruz, and Leilani is the executive director of Precious Lamb. And I'd like to invite her to come on up here with me, and she's going to tell you just a little bit about what they do. But Leilani, thank you very much for being here with us today. She's got a sick little one at home, but she made the trip out anyway, so we appreciate it. On behalf of the Seal Beach Center for Spiritual Living, we'd like to present this check to your organization, Precious Lamb, for $746.
Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be with you this morning. And I just wanted to thank you for choosing Precious Lamb. For those of you that have never heard about us, what we do is we work with children, young children ages 18 months to 5, who are experiencing homelessness and live in shelters, treatment centers, domestic violence programs, and rehabs. And what we do is we provide full-day, high-quality early childhood education and care while their parents are going to rehab and counseling and job training, whatever they need to do to get on their feet. So every cent of this will go towards children in our community who will be educated and loved and nurtured and cared for, and all the while empowering the family to do better for themselves and break that cycle of homelessness is what we strive to do. So we appreciate your generosity and love towards us, and thank you for having me this morning.
So it is that time for our own giving. So you can take out your tithe, your gift, your offering, or just your love. And if you want, you can hold it to your heart and repeat along with me the giving blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous. Thank you, God.
So blessed, I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Yes, thank you, Bill. My name is Marjorie Ray. I'm a practitioner here, and what we do is we pray. After service, if you would like to work with one of us for a challenge or a joy or whatever is going on that you would like some support, we'll be over by the windows. You can also write out a prayer request. There are forms back on the podium at the back of the room, and there's a little box you can put the prayers in, and we will pray over them at the end of the service, and then we will pass them out to the rest of the practitioner body, and we will pray on them for the whole week. So it's a service that we are offering to you. So I'd now like to invite all the practitioners or ministers that are in the room to stand while we do our closing prayer. What a joy it is to come together as we recognize and know that there is a power greater than I active in my life. This power and presence that I choose to call God is pure, infinite, loving intelligence that is always at my essence, ever available, with expressing love and peace and harmony and joy and energy and wisdom, all there, always available to me. And just as it is available to me, it's available to each and every one of us. This God source essence is at the very essence of each and every one of us. And I know that as this process unfolds in me, unfolds in each and every one of us, it unfolds in perfect divine right order. That essence is always there, guiding and directing as we go forth this week, as we are experiencing our lives, that it is divinely guided in divine right order. And I know that as I lean into and on that, that comes forth always and forevermore. I am so grateful that this is so. And because it is so, I can release this into the law, knowing that it is so, and so it is, period.
That's like going to be our new thing. Yeah. Let's bring in the kids.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk about in 2 Sundays from now, August 26th, we're going to be having our passageway ceremony. And that's going to be a very special time for all of the kids where we celebrate, encourage, and empower them moving on to the next school year. And so I would just like to encourage all of you to be here on that day to help them celebrate at the 11 o'clock service. And also, if you're a parent and you didn't get one of these when you signed in your kids today, if you could please get one of these papers. If you could please get one of these papers and give them back to us next Sunday, that would be fabulous. And now, Leon.
Good morning. Thank you so much for bringing your just beautiful children to participate with us in our junior church. They're just so precious. So one of the things we did today, we talked about mandalas, and the children drew and painted their own mandalas. So would you like to hold them up and show everyone? Okay, and then Carol is going to tell us about her song that she's teaching the kids.
So, hello. Before they did these wonderful mandalas and the bigger kids went upstairs to do what they did, everybody got together this morning and we practiced a song that I wrote, especially for the children here at the church. And we're going to be practicing it for the next couple of weeks. And on August 26th, as part of the passageway ceremony, the children are going to sing it for you.
And that's it from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I want to invite everybody to stand and take a hand. Wow, guys. And repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in all that I do.
Life is in all that I do.
I give thanks for it.
I give thanks for it.
And I accept it.
And I accept it.
Just the way that it is.
Just the way that it is.
And just the way that it is not.
And just the way that it is not.
Thank you, life.
Thank you, life.